Hello and welcome to Losers Finals Round 4 of the Silver Bracket of Mixed vs. Culinary. We have Dude Gamer versus Saul. I might just call DudegamerDW if that's fine with y'all. Some pretty intense Puyo right off the bat. Immediately getting an all clear from Saul. Dude failed to get that, so he's actually at a disadvantage here. And words to be shown here as Saul gets his first point on this board. Very nice showing from Saul. Round 2, not going to be an all clear start, so both players will have a chance to actually express their skill to each other as of this moment. Early attack from Dude, which is very nice, putting Saul at a little bit of disadvantage, but not quite since Dude doesn't even have much to begin with right now. So he's going to be able to power down this. Eventually, might be able to get an all clear off of this as revenge. If the pieces are given, unfortunately not, but still enough to put Saul over at the X, giving himself a point. Very nice. Round 2, I wonder if both players are going to go for GTR. Okay, I think they're both going, yeah, they're both going for GTR. Dude just kind of did it a little bit of a different way than normal, which kind of threw me off for a second, but he is kind of behind with all the pausing he's doing. In Puyo, you kind of want to pause the least, since speed does technically matter when you are trying to outchain your opponent, because you want to know the piece cube for your opponent. Both players are giving the same pieces, but sometimes in battles your opponent might be going faster, so it looks like it's different. So you kind of want to know what's coming up next before your opponent does, so you actually know when to harass when they're struggling, I guess you can say. So Dude's gonna have to pick up the pace if he wants to catch up to Saul, because Saul seems to be having a better grasp of just placing his pieces down, knowing what he wants out of them, and attacking when he needs to. Case in point right here. However, Dude does get the 3 chain, so he does defend himself and puts Saul at not a disadvantage fully, but in a less favorable position, at least. If he can reach those greens up there, then it could blow Saul right back. But he chooses to extend. A little bit of a greed move here, but could pay off, as we can see right here. And probably, from looks of it, Saul doesn't seem to be having the greatest time getting his pieces together for this transition in columns 1 and 2. So that will give Dude the point, leaving these players at 2-2 out of a first to 7, so practically a first to 5 at this point. But that's what we like to see here. We like even matches regardless of skill level. All players will be giving some sort of limelight in any shape, way, or form. Interesting play from Dude there to stack all of his blues and, no, it's not blue, yellows and greens to make a power 3. And eventually it paid off. Now, it does matter here how he holds this lead. He has a clear advantage right now, but you can't just did it out forever. You gotta take some initiative here. It looks like my words were answered. Seems to be just keeping Saul in place, giving him the point. 3-2 in DW's favor. Very nice showing. Okay. Over here for round, well, can't really say round and like mean the thing I need to mean, but regardless. Next match here, Dude seems to be a little bit of disadvantage here. He does have a lot of those are not purples. A lot of blues around columns 1, 2, and 3, which does kind of set back his main chain a bit. So Dude's gonna have to find like a solution for that. Because if he does set the chains off, it's gonna cut short because those are only 3 blues in column 4 rather than 4 like you're supposed to have. If Saul can catch that, he could have the chance to actually attack here. But unfortunately it was a bit too late with that, so he will be topping out here, giving Dude a stronger lead into this matchup. Okay, here we are with next match here. I was gonna say next stock, but this is not Smash Brothers, so I will not be saying it, though it would kind of make sense for commentators' sakes, I guess, but I'm not doing it. Meanwhile, Saul decides no more of that shit. You're going to be touching that X, you're gonna like it. And Lidelle does not seem to like that sound of that, so she's gonna be taking a lot of garbage right now. I'm not entirely... I don't entirely understand why they actually delayed some of their pieces in favors of like they were clear at disadvantage. You kind of have to just slam your pieces down. But I mean, think, but you know, just don't just spend the whole entire time thinking while you're up there. Not like the best move, but regardless, the next round right here. I almost said stock again. Would it be an all clear if there was another purple in play, but there was not, so no all clear was made, so no one really missed on like a major advantage right there. Dude seems to be at a favorable position transition wise until he plays that piece down. Now he's a little bit behind, and you really don't want to be behind when Saul has a 4 chain with your name on it. Giving him the garbage. If he had another link to match a 4 chain, he potentially could have actually either neutralized it completely or even countered it all. And Saul taking advantage of the space just to make a quick little 5 chain, putting Dude behind, but actually tying up the score 4-4. Really nice showing. Let's see the next round. Might have been a missed shot from Dude's end because I think he was going for GTR, but then stacked a little bit too high, so that's unfortunate to see. Bounces back with a 2 chain, but probably not a wise decision since Saul is clearly ahead and did have the pieces to make a 3 chain to counter you back. So Dude's gonna have to really improvise here. Because Saul can otherwise just attack with really weak chains here and still get a decent ahead. Okay, I see some players from Dude up there getting a 3 chain. Giving Saul something to work with, but again, not a lot because Saul did eventually just get his chain right back. I think if DW actually gets some blues in column 1 and then clear some garbage, he could eventually get up there. But that is going to take a miracle and a half at this point, since Saul does seems to be just slamming them down, making sure that Dude does not have any room to breathe in this matchup, which is honestly a fair thing to do. So Dude just needs to keep up that aggression, or rather build some aggression and do the same to him, even though he has the disadvantage board, obviously. So a little bit of footsies playing here, as both players are just making like 1 chain to kind of survive here, which sometimes is all you need. Unfortunately for Dude, Saul did get the pieces he needed, like the exact pieces. Like he needed like 2 colors there and he got them both in 1 piece. So that was just basically unlucky for him. But of course, sometimes you gotta go faster so that way they don't get that. So even then you get the piece is gonna be a wasted piece. But here we go with round 4. Instead of building onto the GTR, it looks like Dude decided to put the greens and purples over to the tails. And that's a choice you could make. It's not good. It's not, oh, and actually I can see that he actually messed up on his reds on the GTR because just like that problem we had earlier with too many blues on column 1, 2, and 3, so he can't chain that well. So this is the same thing here. He can't put in the red over there. He has to either like. Okay, never mind. He did solve the case, which was my secondary case there. And it looks like Saul would actually be at a disadvantage here because he actually only just got purples, which was like the cover round for the GTR for columns 3 and 4. So that was good play from Dude as well. Instantly tying himself back up 5-5. So this is just a average ranked versus 2 match on Puyo Puyo Tetris. 2 and 1 and champions, but we don't talk about champions because that game has no Felly, therefore it is a bad game. /J. I'm just kidding, guys. For those of you who are going to get at my next for saying, Champions is the best game ever, you're just stupid. I'm like, well, that game has no content, so. But, you know, that's not the time for that right now. It's time for Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. And Puyo Puyo in general. Celebration of Puyo Puyo. that is a lot of the same color in column 1, which could be in Dude's favor if he actually knows how to do it, which he did. Unfortunately, Saul does have a transition that's stronger, so it's going to be a longer chain. But barely though, because he did get a lot of power into it, so that's good. Some reds over there. He could give himself a 3 chain, but again, he has to pick up the pace here. He can't just keep slowing down here, just because he's at a disadvantage. You gotta keep up. You gotta keep up here. Otherwise, Saul is just gonna wreck you every time. You gotta just be fast and just gotta be fast with it. Because I feel like that's the only reason why Dude kind of like fumbles sometimes. He just wastes a little time like just letting the piece fall itself and then just thinking. And Puyo, of course, if you want to like make sure your opponent gets like demolished, you gotta just go faster. Because you can see Saul, he's barely like thinking where he places his pieces. He's just sending down and then he works because he actually has the know-how to actually just do that really quickly. Unfortunately for Dude, more of that thinking is going to be a disadvantage, and giving Saul pretty much the win here. So Saul will be advancing through the losers bracket, and we will be seeing Dude at the next Puyo tournament, because his run is over, because this is the losers bracket. Delaying it just a little bit there, but good job to both Dude Gamer and Saul for an excellent match. I will see you guys next match.